What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play Ocarina of Time 3D. In the last episode, we started the adult Link half of the temple. In this episode, well, we're gonna finish up the adult Link half and take on the boss. But before we do that, I want to activate this shortcut that'll take us back to the very beginning of this temple. And although I'm not really gonna make that much use of it, I figured I might as well show it off for those of you who care and maybe want to take a break every now and again while exploring a temple. So let's just push this second block forward, and as soon as we do, there is going to be a rusted out switch that we need to bang in with our Goron hammer, which will activate the center platform, and that'll be used as an elevator from the beginning room all the way back to the heart of the temple. But now that is out of the way, let's just get right back into it. So in the last episode, we ended off by getting a small key, and there is still a locked door onto the adult Link half of this temple. So hey, that's as good place as any to actually start getting back into this temple. And yes, I know there is a chest over here, but for whatever reason, when I reloaded my save, it disappeared, and I don't feel like getting it to reappear again because the chest isn't that important anyway, so we'll just pretend that it never existed in the first place and move on. Anyways, in this room, you got a Beamos and a bunch of Anubises, or Anubai, or whatever the plural of that word would be. So let's just take care of them real quick. I mean, I'm just going to use fire arrows, but the way that you, I guess, want to solve this puzzle is, you know, go over to that plaque on the wall, play the Song of Time, it'll cause a block to appear, and then I believe that switch actually activates like a ring of fire or something like that. But it's just so much easier to use the fire arrow, so I don't know why you wouldn't do that. In this next room, we got a blue switch, and those are the switches that constantly need something on top of them to activate them. So we're going to activate this fake statue, and he's actually going to be our buddy for a little bit, and hold down this switch for us. That way we can move on to this room over here, which is actually just, well, a plain hallway, but there's two fake chests that contain a recovery heart in each of them. So we'll just top off our health and move on. Now, this room looks very similar to one that we saw as young Link, and hey, it's even got the Iron Knuckle in it. Well, let's just attack him and take him out then. The Iron Knuckle will be a lot easier now that we have our big Goron sword. I believe it's like 4 or 5 jump attacks to take this guy out. Yeah, his armor's already gone, so I think one more attack is going to do it. And already he is dead. Not so much of a threat now, are you, buddy, huh? Anyways, just like young Link, this door will actually take us outside of the temple. But what could be outside? And hey, check it out! Another large chest. That's our 4th large chest, so what could this be? We already have all the generic temple items, and we already got a normal temple item. Well, this is the mirror shield. This shield's polished surface can reflect light or energy. Press R to use it. So yeah, there are 2 temple items in this temple. One as young Link, and one for adult Link. Actually, they're both for adult Link, but you get one of them as young Link, so you guys get what I'm saying. Now, the mirror shield goes back to my theory of there was eventually supposed to be a Temple of Light in the game, but they had to cut it due to time constraints because, well, Temple of Light, mirror shield, that reflects light, those go together, kind of, like, and it's weird that a temple would have more than one temple item, so I think what happened was they programmed the mirror shield, made some puzzles for the Temple of Light, but because they had to cut it, they just said, you know what, we might as well use these assets because we already have them made and they're working, and they're already like programmed for the game, so let's just throw it into the Spirit Temple, and it'll make the adult Link half sort of, I don't know, similar to how maybe the Light Temple would have been had it been its own temple. Not entirely sure on that, that's all theory by the way, but that's a pretty good guess I would say. We did all that though for a small key so we'd get into this room with some Beamos. So let's just take these guys out real quick because they're going to bother us if we don't. There's actually a really easy shortcut to do in this room as well. So what they want you to do is climb up all these moving like platform wall things, but instead you can just hookshot all the way to the top, and that's a lot easier in my opinion. You know what? I'm not even going to bother blowing up these Beamos. Instead, I'm just going to walk around them and go through the door and pretend that they never existed. And hey, check it out. There's a Triforce symbol on the floor. Let's just go and play Zelda's Lullaby and see what happens this time. And of course, that causes the door directly in front of us to unlock. Who would have guessed that? Anyways, this room is actually very important. There's a chest in the background that's on fire, and that's actually the boss key chest. So yeah, we really do need to come here to actually finish up this temple. let me just take care of all these freaking fire slugs, or whatever they were called. I actually already forgot from the fire temple, but it doesn't really matter. There's also a bunch of doors in this room. They're all fake, by the way, but they're like all the same design as the doors in the forest temple, I believe. But the one to the left of the chest is the one that you need to bomb because, as you can see, there is an ice switch behind it. So let's just go and hit that with an arrow real quick. And now we can actually get up to those ice blocks and hit the switch up there, which will extinguish the fire that are around the chest, allowing us access to the boss key. Now, the boss room is actually right off the path of another room that we've been to multiple times before. We just don't have access to that particular area just yet. We gotta solve a few more puzzles first. So now we got the boss key, let's go and solve those puzzles. It won't take too long. We'll be done very, very shortly, actually. So we need to go to the right now, because there's actually another door up here for us to go through. And now here's the difference on the 3DS version of the game and the N64. On the original N64, there was a crystal switch behind these bars, and you would hit it with your sword. But on the 3DS version, they moved it over here, similar to how they moved the crystal switch in the water temple. Why did they move it? I have no idea. It doesn't make the puzzle any easier or any harder, in my opinion. So they just moved it for the sake of moving it. Oh, and hello, Lizalfos. How are you doing today? You again are no match for us. Now we have the big Goron sword. Oh, hey, we got a new type of bubble. These are white bubbles. They act sort of the same as any other bubble, so yeah, they're really not anything to be worried about. But there's a bubble wall over here, so let's blow that up. And now that is gone, we're going to move this mirror and reflect the light across a few mirrors and back into the room that we were just in with the crystal switch, because there's actually a sun switch in there that we need to activate. And Lizalfos, could you please just die? You are so annoying. Alright, so as you can see, those are the iron bars that lead back to that room that we were just in. So now the light is in the right spot. Let's just go back there and use our mirror shield to reflect it on the sun switch. If these pots would leave me alone for about 2 seconds, I could actually do it. Alright, come on. There we go. Now this entire platform is actually an elevator that will take us down to the room with the snake lady in it. You know, the same one that we got the map from. Now that we're down here, we can reflect the light onto her face, and it causes it to burn up and break into pieces. Well, not really burn up, but explode. So that's equally as good if you ask me. So as you probably saw, the boss door is actually right behind this grate, so we can hook shot over there and, well, promptly go through the door. I'm excited. Oh no, what's going on?
Ooh, looks like someone's here, Kume. Looks like it, Kotake. What an outrageous fellow. He is to intrude so boldly into our temple. Ooh. We should teach this outrageous fellow a lesson. Oh, loyal minion. Destroy this intruder on our behalf.
I like this cutscene so much. Like, the music starts and instantly fades off, and then he has to get his axe from nowhere, and then the music starts again. I don't know, I just think that cutscene is just so funny. But yeah, the boss is an iron knuckle, I guess? It's kind of weird, right? Like, we've already fought 2 of them before. We know how easy they are. Like, 4 jump attacks, this guy's gonna die, so why would they make this the boss? Like, already it's done. That was really, really easy. And hey, is that Naburu in there? It was!
Ugh, where am I? Well, looks like she's back to normal, Kume. She's just a little girl, but she commands a lot of respect among the Gerudo Kotake. Maybe we should make her work for the Great Gandalf for a little while longer. Ooh. Then we should brainwash her again.
Run! Well, you got disintegrated. And obviously, no, that is not the real boss of the Spirit Temple. The real boss is right through here and is much, much harder than an iron knuckle. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. I'm actually going to use the big Goron Sword for this fight, and that's actually not recommended. It's a lot easier with the Master Sword in my opinion, but it'll go faster with the Goron Sword. Plus, I want to make it more fun for myself.
Look at that stupid kid. He came on his own to offer himself as a sacrifice to the great Ganondorf. With my flame, I'll burn him to the bone. With my frost, I'll freeze him to his soul.
And these are the Sorceress Sisters, Twinrova. This boss fight is generally considered one of the hardest in the game. Second to, of course, probably the final boss, but it's hard for really the wrong reasons. It's really easy. All you gotta do is basically use your shield to reflect one of the elemental magics back at the other sister. So if it's ice, reflect it at fire. If it's fire, reflect it back at ice. It's a pretty easy concept, but what makes it hard is the fact that it's really hard to see both of them on screen at the same time. And as a result, well, this kind of happens where you don't really know what's going on and you can't actually reflect the magic all the time. So, yeah, it's got some issues, I think. But other than that, the boss fight it's pretty interesting. I like this boss fight a lot, actually, despite its craziness. But hang on, we should be able to get this one, actually. There are two phases of this boss fight, the first of which takes 4 hits by reflecting the magic. We actually have them in a really good position right now, so if I don't move too much, they should stay in this general area, and that would be perfect for me. So let's just reflect this ice. The hard part is also, like, reflecting it, because it can be a little bit touchy with the mirror shield. Thankfully, the circle pad is a lot easier than the N64 control stick, so that alone makes it easier. The game is also very generous in the fact that you only have to hover over them for like a split second for the attack to go through. And I think that's gonna do it for phase 1. Yep, there we go.
Okay, let's get serious now, Kotake. Oh, okay, Kome. Kotake and Kume's double dynamite attack.
And that is certainly one strange looking boss. Don't wink at me. That's creepy. Alright, phase 2 is actually a lot easier in my opinion than phase 1. So what they're going to do now is shoot an element at you, whether it be ice or fire. You're going to want to keep your shield out the entire time, and you want to basically collect 3 of the same element to charge up your shield fully and reflect the attack back at them. And since we just started phase 2 of the fight, they will always shoot 3 of the same element in a row. So now we are free to just go in for the attack after we reflected the magic back at them. And since I'm using the Goron Sword, I actually should be able to take out this boss in the next hit. So hopefully, we're still early on enough and she'll just shoot 3 fires in a row, because that would be fantastic. Now if she shoots an ice, I'm going to want to avoid that, because that'll actually negate all the fire that I'm charging up right now. So I dare you to shoot one more fire. I dare you. If you do, oh man, it is going to be the end for you. I should be able to take you out with my Goron Sword like right now. Oh yeah, there we go. Dat jump attack, man. That's what I'm talking about. Get out of here, you old ladies.
Shoot, what a fresh kid. This time we'll get serious, right, Kotake? What? Hey, Kome, what's that above your head? I don't know, but you have one over your head too, Kotake. But I'm only 400 years old. And I'm just 380 years old. We're twins, don't try to lie about your age. You must have gone senile. Who are you calling senile? Is that how you treat your older sister? We're twins, how can you be older? Yeah, how heartless of you. How can you be so ungrateful? You're heartless. You're ungrateful.
Will you please just die? Thank you. We'll come back to haunt you. Trust me, you already did that. Alright, but there you go with that. The Spirit Temple has been completed. So, let's just go get ourselves our very last heart container. All 20 have been collected. And now, let's just step into the light. Kid, let me thank you. Look what the little kid has become in the past 7 years. A complete swordsman. By the way, I really messed up. I was brainwashed by those old witches and used by Gandalf to do his evil will. But isn't it funny that a person like me could turn out to be the Sage of Spirit? And now, I'm gonna fight them as one of the 6 sages. I'm gonna pay them back for what they did to me. Kid. No, Link, the hero of time. Instead of keeping the promise I made back to you then, I'll give you this medallion. Take it! And with that, we've got the Spirit Medallion. Neburu awakens as a sage and adds her power to yours. If only I knew you'd become such a handsome man. I should have kept my promise that I made back then. I don't know what you're insinuating, Neburu. Creeping me out, man. Link, the hero. Finally, all of us, the 6 sages, have been awakened. The time for the final showdown with the King of Evil has come. Before that, though, you should meet the one who is waiting for you. The one who is waiting for you at the Temple of Time. Alright, but we will do that in the next episode. So once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.